What is the scariest weapon in the world? Weapons that rule the skies. Throughout history, people have always been afraid of what comes from the skies. But what is Russia's most feared and nightmare weapon? The B-21 Raider. A terrifying weapon has joined the U.S. military inventory in recent years. The B-21 Raider has become the darling of the U.S. military because this monster had frightening features. A long-range bomber produced by Northrop Grumman for the U.S. military. But why did this combat vehicle become Russia's worst nightmare? The B-21 Raider was first test-flown in 2023. It was quite successful. It was extraordinarily maneuverable. It was virtually invisible and unhittable. It could fly at very high altitudes, considering the Russian fighter technology from the Soviet Union era. If the B-21 Raider was the Hawk, the Russian fighter was the Dove. So it was completely defenseless. With a 100-kilogram weapons load, this monster was capable of horrific destruction of many targets. With a length of 16 meters and a wingspan of 40 meters, this monster weighed 31,751 kilograms. It could comfortably take off weighing up to 81,647 kilograms. When its own weight was taken into account, this meant that it could carry enough weapons to destroy massive targets. This bird, the ruler of the skies, was also very good at gathering intelligence. It could sneak through the sky and get the information it wanted without anyone noticing. Not only was it capable of successfully destroying designated targets, but it also had electronic attack capabilities. The Russians had every right to fear this monster, because the B-21 Raider could carry missiles with nuclear warheads. It had other wonderful features. It was designed for manned and unmanned flights. It could also carry remote and direct attack munitions. So it was full of surprises. An airplane would be taken by surprise when it was attacked. It had weapons that could penetrate even the thickest armor. If the Russians saw a few of these in their airspace, they would run for cover, because they were completely defenseless against this weapon. Nowadays, the importance of airborne combat vehicles is really huge. Because the more powerful the means of warfare in the air, the more difficult or impossible it is to counter. The power of aircraft was fully tested in the Russian-Ukrainian war. Unmanned aerial vehicles in the inventory of the Ukrainian army, thanks to their superior characteristics, destroyed many ground and air vehicles of the Russian army. The same happened in the Syrian civil war. Thanks to their superior capabilities, many targets were successfully hit. Of course, the Russians also had a powerful fighter jet. Although this fighter jet, called MiG-31, has many superior features, it can do nothing but remain a pigeon in the face of the B-21 Raider. Because the United States produces the most powerful weapons in the world, the B-21 Raider can travel up to 9,600 kilometers without needing fuel. It is not picked up by any radar. The Russians had the S-300 and S-500 air defense systems. These systems were said to be able to detect and destroy all kinds of stealth planes. But one of the features of the B-21 stealth bomber was that it could detect and destroy a target anywhere in the world without being caught by any radar system in the world. Even many features of the B-21 bomber are a mystery today. This is because the U.S. military considers it useful to keep the characteristics of the stealth bomber secret. After all, if the characteristics of an airborne enemy are not known, it is impossible to deal with it. The Russian army is now facing an unknown enemy. Even their defense systems may not be able to protect them. The F-35 fighter jets in the U.S. military inventory are fifth generation, and there is nothing better in the world. The B-21 stealth bomber is the sixth generation and the only one of its kind. It can be used both manned and unmanned, so they are even superior to the F-35. Also, the B-21 Raider has next-generation stealth technology. This means that the Russians will face an airborne monster before they realize what is happening. Equipped with cloud technology, the B-21 Raider is also capable of self-repair while in the air. One of Russia's biggest nightmares is the fifth generation and the best fighter jet in the world. The F-22 Raptor was developed by Lockheed Martin Aeronautics for the U.S. military. Russia is no match for the U.S. military's technology, especially now in a state of war. The F-22 Raptor is one of the monsters produced to provide high invisibility with low radar signature, focused on air superiority. It is a single-seat, twin-engine, all-weather, highly maneuverable Eagle and ruler of the skies. It also has ground attack, electronic warfare, and signals intelligence capabilities. Thanks to its design and the composite materials used in its fuselage, it has radar-evading features. Thanks to the propulsion guidance system on board, the aircraft can proceed at a constant altitude with its nose up. The thrust guidance system is made by directing the jet outlets of the aircraft, i.e., the nozzles. Thanks to this feature, the F-22 provides superiority in a dogfight in the air. The GPS-controlled JDAMs on board guide the aircraft in the most accurate way. Thanks to its high maneuverability, it can easily escape from all kinds of dangers. Its advanced integrated avionics and aerodynamic performance, which enables supersonic cruise without afterburner, are the factors that enable it to maneuver highly. It can fly at high altitudes for long periods of time. This means that it can go to any country and destroy any target without being caught by radar. With 6 AIM-120C and 2 AIM-9 guided AA missiles, no one can cope. In other words, this monster carries very dangerous weapons. Not only that, it also carries 2 AIM-120C and 2 AIM-9 missiles, as well as 2 100 DRLB JDAM ammunition. All ammunition and weapons on the F-22 are stored in the fuselage. Thus, one of the possibilities of being caught on radar is eliminated. The US military has weapons with a terrible destructive capacity that will give the Russians nightmares. Unmanned aerial vehicles are one of them. The most frightening is the MQ-1B Predator, an armed drone. Insidious and ruthless, fast and relentless. One of the most feared weapons of the Russian army. Because this ruthless ghost has incredible features. The UAVs in the Russian army are like model airplanes in comparison. The MQ-1B Predator armed drone has 2 laser-guided AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. Its Rodach 944 cylinder engine is almost invisibly at 84 miles per hour. It has a powerful engine and can stay in the air for long periods of time. The MQ-1B Predator is a new generation of armored, multi-mission, medium-altitude, long-endurance, and remotely controlled unmanned aerial vehicle, the stealthiest killer in the sky. Not only combat-capable, but also intelligence-gathering. With its wide-range sensors and multimodal communication suite, it is the best intelligence gatherer. It is capable of attacking against time-sensitive targets. Its coordination and reconnaissance capabilities are unmatched. It has many features such as route clearance, combat search and rescue, orchestration of precision strikes, friend or foe, convoy and raid surveillance, search and rescue, target development, and terminal air guidance. It is equipped with 4 sensors and weapons. The ground control station can easily operate this beast wherever it wants with the support of satellite connectivity. It has a multispectral targeting system combining infrared sensor, color and monochrome daylight TV camera, image-intensified TV camera, laser designator, and laser illuminator. Its shots are extremely accurate. It has weapons that can penetrate even the thickest armor. When you see this monster in the air, the best thing you can do is run away. If you can. Given the technologies at the disposal of the Russian military, it is understandable why the Russian military is afraid of US weapons. Having many superior weapons in the air is worth tens of thousands of troops on the ground. Countries with air superiority have a great military advantage. Countries like Russia are aware of this. However, they have not been able to realize strategies to develop themselves in this direction. Because there is someone at the head of the country who thinks only of his own interests and ambition. He uses force to ensure scientific and technological development. But it is obvious that this does not work. Weapons and technologies developed in a liberal country can be very efficient and frightening. If the US and Russia were to face each other in the near future, the superior technology that the US has would be enough to destroy the Russian army. This is because we have recently seen how the Russian army was destroyed against a weaker country, Ukraine. The main reason for this is that the Ukrainian army has advanced technological weapons. The Ukrainian army has received great support from the whole world, so the world learned firsthand the power of advanced technology. So what do you think about this? We would be glad if you express your thoughts in the comments section. If you want more of this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and follow our channel.